Me off at the beginning. You guys hear me talking like partway through something. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Bass and Bonsai. If you haven't watched the spinnerbait video, go back. This is the second video in me sorting out through my tackle, right? We've got the Buzzbaits. So we're going to go through those. If you guys remember right, I did the spinnerbaits, and I know this one's going to be a lot quicker, but I'm just going to zoom over here and show you. There's what we got to get through. All of that. And we just did spinnerbaits which weren't even in that. They're on their separate box right here. So before I jump into buzzbaits, I want to show you, if you can see here, I basically start from the top and work my way down generally. So I got buzzbaits, chatterbaits, jigs, shaky head stuff, BFS, which soft baits used to be, basically was my crappie box, and then like hooks, sinkers, and all that kind of stuff. Then on that side, which this is all like skirted and hardware and stuff like that, then the other box was strictly mainly hard baits. TopWater, Wake, and BFS, which is now just BFS. Square bill, swim, rattle, and jerk, mid diving cranks, and then deep diving cranks, which that's all kind of switched. I got a lot of, part of why I'm making these videos and sorting through stuff, that deep diving stuff, I hardly fish anything deep diving, and it's pretty much gotten all my big square bills are in there because they won't fit in the square bill box, which is still totally overloaded. That's the main box I got to get to at some point, that square bill box. We're going to get to it. I'm getting rid of a ton of square bills. All right, so hard baits. The only thing that's not a hard bait on there, some of the TopWater, I've got my TopWater frogs with my poppers and whopper ploppers, stuff like that. Then the BFS stuff is everything. Could be TopWater. There's some jigs and stuff, soft plastic, stuff like that. So yeah, let's go back to here. Now we've come to, and I'm just going to start. So it'll be buzzbaits, chatterbaits, jigs, shaky head stuff. Shaky head stuff, probably nothing will come out of that. That's just kind of hard, you know, the heads and stuff. We got the wobble heads or the broken necks and all that kind of stuff. The different shaky heads I use and stuff like that. So once we get over there, it'll be a pretty quick jump over to the hard baits, and we'll start sorting through that. Then we'll probably go to soft plastics, and the last thing I'll probably do will be my Z-Man box. I'm getting rid of some of that stuff also. So before I jump to this, if you guys remembered, let's show you the spinnerbait box now. Let this thing stop shaking. So I sorted through, and yes, I even took time, and I've got all of those little like Indiana style blades you saw. I've got them switched out. So I did do a few things I just wanted to touch up on. So we've sorted out, if you remember the beginning of the spinnerbait video, this was totally stuffed full. Couldn't hardly tell what was in there. Now I know for a fact I've got my little Pond Magics here. I've got a couple War Eagles over here. Right here I've got the one and only Z-Man bait I own. I got the only bleeding baits. It's a smaller spinnerbait from Strike King. I've got, I think that is a Strike King, but that's one of those titanium, or the ones that are like memory. They don't bend, they just flex right back. A couple hearts. And then the heavier Strike King baits. So I did switch those up a bit. And this one I'll show you. And I thought about making a whole video on that. If you guys comment if you would want to know how do you hand tie, not really hand tie from scratch, but like say if you've got, and that's what I had happen with this one. I like this bait. I switched out to this blade on it. And I don't know how well it'll work, but we're going to try it. It had a straight willow leaf on it. But what I found was happening as I grabbed this bait, if I'd have handled it too much longer, that little rubber band was coming apart. It was going to go bye-bye. So what I've done is I just tied on a little bit of braid, you know, cinched it up, and then put a drop of super glue on it so the skirt will stay on. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or wondered how to do that. It's real simple, but I thought about making a video out on it. Some people like videos on that. And I did utilize our... This, I believe, is the, I changed out. So we are going to have one of these suckers that is going to be crazy, even brighter than a full-on chartreuse, as far as different colors of the spectrum to try to catch some fish at some point. So I didn't change much else. This dude I did change this guy up. So I actually robbed the Stanley, that black bait, and I put a gold one on the black bait that was Stanley. So I switched this up, put a white skirt. I'm going to get some when I get time. I think one of the girls has white fingernail polish. I'm just going to repaint the sides on this that are chewed up white. And because I think that's a very good bait. Just old and beat up. We're going to rejuvenate it. It's in our lineup. So we'll start with that. I may even make a run up to Rogers today, but probably not. See if they have any more of these in the white, because I only have the one white-headed one. I would like to have a couple more other than just the yellowish chartreuse ones of those. And I don't know if they carry Z-Man up there. I need to pick up a couple more of these and maybe a couple white ones of those. And then my spinnerbaits, that's probably all I'm going to fish with. Now, you guys could also comment if you know of what you've seen that kind of style I like. What if you think AliExpress have any I might be interested in. I haven't really looked at AliExpress because I've said it before, I'm not really huge on spinnerbaits. I'm more of a chatterbait guy, but if that chatterbait bite is off, that's when I usually go to spinnerbaits. You've heard the term slow rolling a spinnerbait. I no longer even think about doing that. My spinnerbaits, I'm going fairly quick. I may slow down some, but if I'm going to slow roll, I'm throwing a chatterbait, and then I'm trying to imitate crawdads with chatterbaits, mainly. Now I'll throw fish-colored chatterbaits, don't get me wrong. But chatterbaits, I'm trying to go down and low. You know, sometimes the bite's on, you go fast, but if I feel they're just up, kind of suspended, or they're just not on chatterbaits. You might get some bumping it, but they're not really hitting it right. That's when I'll go to spinnerbaits, and I'm trying to, more or less, I feel anyway, imitate a fish, but I want to feel that bait. Then I'll go to like swim baits or swim bait with an underspinner, that kind of thing. But buzz baits, when that morning is on or they're on TopWater, you're going to abandon all ships of chatterbaits, buzz baits, crankbaits, any of that, and you're going to throw buzz baits or whopper ploppers or poppers, right? So I got all these buzz baits, and I got a few of these swim baits that came from AliExpress because I had nowhere else to put them. Part of the reason I'm going through these boxes. So we're just going to set those to the side, and we'll put these back somewhere today. I'm still not sure exactly where. They don't really go in here. I'm going to try to get them into one of like the deep diving box or something somewhere. Because I have a swim, rattle, and jerk, but that's totally full. Jay's back. Planted 12 hedge plants while you were gone finishing up the spinnerbaits. Yeah, the spinner, I got a little, I wasn't going to do all that, but I went through that spinnerbait box. It's done. I just need to add a few more to it. So if you guys remember from the last video, and the main reason I want to go through the buzz baits, I probably won't get rid of any or too many in here. I might get rid of a few. It's this right here. I'll show you. I got all of this. And if you guys remember right from the spinnerbait one, the best way to reorganize anything is totally get everything out of what you're doing. Totally out, and then you got a mess, and only put back, you know, what's worth putting back in here. Don't sit and pick through it, because you'll forget something, you won't go through it right. So we got a ton of baits here. I'm just going to set this off to the side. So I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to basically start here, and this table is rickety. I'm going to, the pile that's going bye-bye, and the pile we're keeping, where'd this guy come from? The pile that's going in the trash. That is definitely a Meredith bait. That bait actually works, but that one's done. Throw it in the trash. So I've got these little buzz baits, and these are kind of on that same borderline you guys saw in the spinnerbaits, the Pond Magics. You can throw these with BFS gear, and I've thrown these before I even started really fishing with BFS gear, and you can throw these with regular gear, but man, be ready to clean out some backlashes, because that wind hits right, that bait just totally stops dead. They're kind of hard to throw with BFS gear. If you guys know spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, stuff like that. Chatterbait's easiest of the skirted type jig moving baits kind of deal. Buzzbaits and spinnerbaits can be horrible at times. So we've got quite a few of those. I can't remember the exact brand. I want to say that's a Strike King, and these are Booyahs maybe. Don't quote me on it. I'm just talking out loud. That bait, I think I made that one. I can feel that rubber band thing's getting ready to fall off. Honestly, I'm looking at that thing going, that is disgusting. I'm getting rid of it. And we'll go through the skirts in a minute. Here we go. I don't like painted ones, and I'm going to tell you what is up with that. Oh, this had a clacker thing, I think, on it, and I took it off. But I don't like this right here. See how there's nothing to squeak? I mean, that bait's What? Who did that? That is a little, I don't even like that. I don't know what's going on with that. This thing needs a big white. That is off of a little bitty bait. I don't know. Did I do that? That doesn't belong on there. I don't know who did that. Honestly, I'm not a fan of painted blades. I'm just on Buzzbaits. That right there, yeah, it needs to go bye-bye. That doesn't even go to that. That's off like one of the little micros or mini chatterbaits. Why is that screen? Hang on, I think the screen's doing something weird. Let me wipe you guys off a second. Hang on. All right, blow. Blow. Something ain't right. Is that better? I don't know. Something's acting weird with the screen. All right, here's some more of these little guys. There's a little tri-blade. I'm not really a fan of these either, but see how this one was made? But as long as it moves, that may give them a sound they're not used to. Hear how that makes a weird sound? And it's crazy loud. So when you just want that obnoxious sound out of a little bait, we will keep it. Here's a style I like. See how it goes through the middle? And then you can squeeze that, don't let it move, and then you get extra little squeaky noise. That's what, back in the day when these things were first made, invented, came out with, and old school guys will tell you, they would literally, you'd see guys going down the lake with these tied on antennas. I'm not lying to you, like it was a regular thing with brand new buzz baits to get them broke in before they got to the water to get that squeaker just right. I'm just telling you that it was a thing. Trust me, all you old school guys know what I'm talking about. But I've always liked just the old school buzz baits. I've tried a lot of different ones, you know, but that's the ones I like. Now I kind of like this one, and I've done it. I don't know if I've scraped the paint. Hear that? Now they wear out once that thing starts squeaking. If you just like I do want my buzz baits to wear out, then you would want it to. That thing's about ready to fall off. Must have broke or something. But that is actually still a very good working one. I'm gonna keep it. I know I probably shouldn't. There's a thing that I took off. I'm throwing that in the trash. There's just an old school, and a lot of times you could, and I think you still can find these just cheap old school style buzz baits. Look how that thing is. This one's about toast, but I'm gonna keep it because that's when they're in their prime. As far as catching fish, see how wallered out like that is. It's about done. See how thin that thing is. But man, that's when they can really kick in. I don't really like that skirt. I need to switch that out. I don't know. And I'm not a huge fan of black buzz baits. What in the world's from outside home? Go back to bed. You're drunk. There is a perfect buzz bait for me. And I'm kind of checking these hooks as I go. It's kind of just what I do. I'll keep that one. And there's a little dude. Keep that one. There's another one exactly. And I'm a fan of just white buzz baits, white and chartreuse buzz baits. Normally, what I find work. I didn't like. You hear how much just quieter that is? Did you guys hear that? Even this little dude, I think. You just hear that? Hear how more subtle that it's made different. See how it's just made. I don't know what it is. The ones that go through. It's like they had a patent on it. A lot of the old ones that they all have this patent number on it. That blade right there, or a copied version of it, is way over this. You know what? I don't even want to keep that bait. I don't like it. I'm not. And then these are the old school ones that were hand tied. This is the one I lost and got back. This is the exact bait. Hook still sharp. Set in the water for like a week or two. I found it. I got it back. I lucked onto it and got it back. Awesome bait. I think, yeah, that's the one I caught the 5-pounder in the same spot before I caught my personal best with the shaky head. Awesome bait. So far, the luckiest buzz bait out of all this batch that I own. Here's one that is almost identical for some reason. It just does not have, and it's got a smaller blade. See that? That's probably the reason. It's a little bit different head. So they're not the exact same bait. hook is sharp, but it definitely starting to get rusty. This may have to go by. I don't know. I'm keeping it just because it's the only one I got this close to that one for the moment. Old school, no school. That's a... See how much quiet? I'm going to get rid of that. I should keep that. Sometimes it's hard to find a good white skirt. You know what? That right there, I like those skirts. I'm going to keep that skirt first for one of these other ones. I'll switch it out. But that bait, it's going bye-bye. I'm tired of jacking around with all those funky ones. That right there, baby. Listen to that. Oh, my God. That may be, is that the one me and Bones I got? If you remember, we went on a crazy tear one morning on a chartreuse and white. I kind of need a few more things on there, but that sharp hook. I like that bait too. I can't remember what brand that is, but it's getting beat up, you can tell. Awesome bait. All right, I still got some little ones here. Hang on. Now, one thing, and a lot of guys talk about it, and I think they only do it because it lets them, it casts better and it gets you up under docks and stuff like that better, is doing this. Let me get some of these little freaking skirts out of the way. Is doing something like this. I basically just fed this over the head of the thing, so it just looks like a swim bait. Right? I should probably do that with a couple spinner baits and try it. But a good buzz bait probably needs a lot bigger one of these with the bigger blades. Is probably what I need to do this to. I think that's a chartreuse head. But I don't have near the luck catching fish as I do with any of these skirted ones. Me, as far as the buzz bait goes, I'm a skirted kind of guy, right? And yeah, normally I'm say like, I'm all for going naked, but leave that skirt on your buzz baits. My opinion, anyway. So I'm going to keep this bait. It is one of the good old style, but you may see this come off and skirt on it. But that is a good blade. I like those blades. So I'm keeping that one. I only got rid of a few. There's a few, though, that are getting weeded out. And then, yeah, there's a funky blade. Blade's going bye-bye. There's goods. I got quite a few of those little dudes. How did I end up? Now, maybe, I guess, I'm pretty sure I bought, these are the exact same bait, right? Or you think they are, but look. Well, I guess in case something happens to that one, but I save that. I think I'll just keep that too. That's the only one I'm keeping with this funky blade. You guys ever done? Yeah. We're definitely keeping that one. We only got so many little ones. And Charles, you get that one too. I'm tired of messing around with those. Now we come to this. I'm definitely keeping that. We need to find something to put on that. Oh, look. No. Yeah? No, that's too small. Where did this come from? Let's find... I need a white one. I don't even know where a white one is. I'm just going to throw this on it so it's got something on it. And yes, there's several times I've used a white head with whatever color, can still catch a fish. But I'm just throwing that on there. Okay, so we found all those are going bye-bye. Here's what they're going into. Those already got spinner baits in there. I'm just going to toss those in. They're going out of the lineup. I still got skirt material everywhere. I don't want that for sure. So I need to go through, and there's those I'm keeping. Those I might use on some of these little spinner baits. I'm getting rid of some of these that I just never use. Like that color, I want to say that was a Omega Custom Tackle one I bought. And you can tell on Omega Custom Tackles, when you get them, which they are good skirts. I just don't like this color. It's not my some of you guys be like, oh, that's awesome color. You get skirts from Omega Custom Tackle, the Rapture jig, of course, but they are pretty cool because you get this, and then you got a place to pop them little rattles on, right? You could double rattle or whatever, use them on your jigs. You could put rattles on your, buzz baits, or whatever you want to do. You want to go that crazy. It gives you a place to attach the rattle. So I do recommend their skirt. Their skirts are good also. I need to jump on there and see if they still got any like the shell cracker color. But I'm going to weed out here these colors that, I'm not saying they won't work. They're just, I never end up using them. I don't want to keep, I don't know if I'm going to keep them little ones. Probably not either. Like you would think this color would work, but I think it needs more white. I think it's too dark, and it's one of those where you can only, it's already got the long thing, but that's going bye-bye. Now these are the ones I just picked up, and I'll be honest, I'll use them a while if I feel they're just not getting hit quite right, like that. That's a good, those are technically good colors, you would think. I don't like them. That color I like, and it's hard to tell the difference. This color right here, I feel it's a little more subtle, and it's more like the original Bayou Cross from Z-Man. But I do like those, so I'll keep those. I just don't like, once you get the blue and purple and black, I don't, on the skirts anyway, I find I don't like. And I don't like when they separate that blue and black like that. I don't like that. I like my black and blue to either be, I don't mind, I'll take the ones that's like black and then blue tips, but I like it to be spread out more. I don't like that half and half. I don't. And these, I try to make myself like this kind of color. But now I've had decent luck here in the last week or so with those AliExpress chatterbaits. But like spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, the only time I like this color, as you'll probably see once I get to my jig box at some point, is on slower moving jigs bouncing off the bottom. Sometimes that color seems to really work. So I probably should save that for some jigs. And I kind of just have all these thrown in here because that's the only place for them. See that kind of a, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. These little bitty ones came off the micros and minis, so I didn't really throw them away. I just threw them out of the way. But I probably won't, I guess some of these little buzzbaits or spinnerbaits, I don't know, I may keep them over here. So there's another one of those and that. So that handful or whatever, it's gone. So I guess I'll just show you real quick. Now I don't really organize any of that. It was a place to put them. And those are the skirts I'll use for, and I need to get a few different other ones. It's kind of leftovers or ones, I need to get some more white for sure, I can tell that. So we've decided to keep almost every buzzbait period. So we got our box set in there, and I'm going to do it just like I had. Let me set this stuff down out of the way. Just like I basically had it before. If you guys don't know about buzzbaits, they are hard to get to lay down right in most of your boxes. So I'm going to try to put, oh boy, my lighter colored, you know, kind of like I had it before. I'm going to try to put my whites up in this middle section, white and chartreuse. But I'm going to put all my little ones up here where I was putting the skirt material. And that's about as far sorted out as I get with them. I need to find a different skirt for that. I don't like that skirt right off the bat, I can tell you. Maybe I just get a Sharpie and darken those purpley ones up. So I put the real little ones over here for sure, and then I think I was putting a few of these mid. They're not real little, but they're not real. They're a smaller size, like quarter. They're not quite half ounce. And that's most of what I use, I guess, is what I call like half ounce. I'll put my good ones up here. Getting them blades to turn and not get bent up. So really, once I start putting them in here, there's not a ton. Put that guy there, this guy here, and that's a very good one. Try to get them where the blades aren't going to get crushed. Nice and organized, right? Problem is, once you start the way these boxes over here set down, everything's going to be jumbled around. But we got that there. Well, almost. Yeah, almost. Hang on. That's just a huge blade that's hard to get. There we go. Oh, that one's sticking. You guys know the deal with these if you guys have buzzbaits. They make like an actual buzzbait thing, but yeah. All right, whoa. 24 minutes, let's keep this short. I'm a good role model on decluttering tackle. All right, now if it stayed like that, I can pretty much, but I can still jump right in here, My little buzzbaits are here. My white and chartreuse, and I've only had a few black. This is my main little deal, and I don't have a ton because I'll be honest. I will usually go whopper plopper or popper or something, but there's just times when that old school buzzbait with that old school squeaky, it just is game on over. Even the whopper plopper, the poppers, the little stick bait, walking baits and stuff like that. Man, there's just when the buzzbait bite game is on, kind of like a chatterbait deal. It's lights out. So we got that nice and organized. I'm going to leave out. I may end up putting these right back over here and scooting these black ones all up, but I like that the way it is, and I don't need any more bait. Any more buzz baits are not needed. I don't need to buy any more buzz baits, period. I start weeding them out, losing some. I may have to track down a few more at some point. No more than I fish these. They should last several more years, I'll be honest. So we've got buzz baits, spinner baits, done. Alright guys, I'm going to give you a preview, but then I'm going to end this video. We are to, you guys know, chatterbaits. So stay tuned. I'm going to end this video instead of making an hour-long deal. I'm going to go through, and they're actually pretty organized, but, and I'm going to think about it while I'm getting ready to restart this video. I'm going to get a few baits out of here. I may go nuts and get half the baits out of here, but let me do a little thinking about it, and we're going to come to chatterbaits. By far, my favorite bait to throw, because I guess it keeps you going. Don't get me wrong, my probably best bait to throw is that shaky head with either just a worms or a zinkers, and just slow down and catch some big fish. But that gets boring. You have to really get like all the bite. You have to kind of know in your head like that's your best option. Then my mind goes there and I can focus on it. But if have doubts that maybe a chatterbait bite or maybe this or maybe that, it's hard for me to stop and throw that worm. And it's not as fun fishing as it is with, say, chatterbaits. Chatterbaits are my funnest bait like all around. Now, early morning, afternoon, when the time's right, yes, TopWater. Any TopWater bait. Just that explosion. It doesn't even matter if it's a whopper plopper, a popper, or whatever. Just when you see the hit, that just makes TopWater fishing the funnest fishing, period. But I don't really have a specific bait. When it comes to fishing, chatterbaits. I'm telling you. These came out. I can remember the day they came out. As far as me finding out about them, it was Matt, which you guys have seen fished on the channel before several times. He's like, you tried chatterbait? I was like, what the hell is a chatterbait? He's like, oh, chatterbait, and so he showed me one. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, any of you guys have that impression first time you saw a chatterbait? What is that? I remember, I may have fished his before I ever even bought one, but I remember throwing chatterbait. And if you guys old school and know, back when they this was like a year into fishing. I don't think a lot of people caught on to it yet, just how freaking insane the chatterbaits are. When they first came out, fish that hadn't ever, a spot that hadn't ever been fished with the chatterbait, it's kind of like with the whopper plopper, probably with the, when you guys first start fishing with like Ned heads, or the first person started floating that, Cinco down just the way it flutters, and fish hadn't seen that. I mean, it was lights out with the chatterbait for me. It was, you couldn't not catch fish with chatterbaits, and I feel it's still like that. Once you get in when it's on, and when it's off, you can still catch them. They will still hit. You may take an hour to get a chatterbait hit, but when it's game on, I feel like chatterbaits are one of the easiest ways to see if they're in shallow water along the banks when they're up there. Now, you get say 5 foot and deeper, you're probably getting close to, you're out of chatterbait range. You might still be able to really slow fish one, but yeah. Anyway, stay tuned for this video. I really don't want to get rid of any in this box, but I'll talk more about it when I come back. So hopefully you like this little, I don't even know if it's a series. I just went through spinnerbaits, buzzbaits. Now we're on to chatterbaits. Stay tuned. You will see chatterbaits. B&B giveaway. No, Brew Tank Outdoors. No. When I first started the channel, I had little giveaways and stuff. I just cost myself $50, $100 here, there. Subscriber views, all that didn't pop up. I have a regular job. The channel is making me money, but I could go be a greeter at Walmart, and one night I'd make as much money as this channel makes me in a month. So Yeah, in all seriousness, just a couple hours in, I'd be like, okay, I'm good. I've made my Bass and Bonsai money. So if you guys want me to start doing giveaways, I would need to have this channel pick up by probably, I don't know, tenfold or more, to where I could justify, like, I'm using Bass and Bonsai money to buy baits, to test, to show you guys, to make videos, and then I could actually give them away and stuff like that. Now I still do occasionally give stuff to this person, that person, but I don't really have any drawings or giveaways. I've kind of done away with that stuff. You know, you ask Jay, I'm pretty generous on sending something or whatever. I mean, but as far as, and usually, no offense, but here's what happened in the last few giveaways I had. I had a giveaway, and if you guys remember Maggie from way back in the when I was doing bonsai a lot, Maggie was big into bonsai trees. She won the $200 whatever toolkit. Didn't even really need it, but I sent it to her. And then my family, which I was like, oh yeah, they can join. My cousin Duke won the crazy rod, or was it rod and reel? I don't remember. And only a couple guys from out of town won in the giveaways, and so then it was hard at the time to like do a giveaway and tell my family, like, you can't enter because they're gonna think it's rigged, and they think I'm just, you know, intentionally acting like I'm giving stuff away and I'm just sending it to you, or maybe they thought I'd not even send it to them. I'm just saying they won. But you know, so I was like, you know what, no more giveaways. I'm just gonna make bass fishing videos. You guys can watch them or not watch them, but if you watch them, wicked, dude. And tell your buddies. Stay tuned. Chatterbaits. Wow. Look at that dude's handwriting. I suck. I can't even, like, use a Sharpie and get it right. You know what's funny? You guys are probably like, well, that's not bad. I can read it. If you guys realized how careful I was to try to actually write that good. Look at that E and an R. Oh, my God. It's horrible. Yeah, I know. I should have been a doctor. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back.